The United States military activity in the Caribbean has intensified, with troops observed coming ashore in Ponce, Puerto Rico. This deployment is part of a continued American military buildup in the region following months of heightened pressure on Venezuela. The operations have included actions against vessels alleged to be involved in drug smuggling. The arriving troops and equipment are expected to move to Camp Santiago to participate in large-scale military exercise. This mobilization has not gone unnoticed, as dozens of protesters gathered outside the White House to voice outrage over recent U.S. strikes on Venezuelan boats. Demonstrators accused the Trump administration of escalating tensions with Caracas and demanded greater transparency regarding the intelligence behind the attack. In response to this pressure, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro is deepening strategic ties with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The two leaders held a phone call discussing expanded bilateral cooperation, with Erdogan emphasizing the need for open dialogue between the U.S. and Venezuela. Analysts suggest this relationship offers Maduro a potential lifeline, as Turkey could provide security and political protections if he were forced into exile. The burgeoning partnership, which includes a booming gold trade and high-level visits, positions Ankara as a key player as the crisis between Washington and Caracas escalates. Back in Europe, domestic political fallout from security policies is growing. Thousands of students and activists rallied in German cities like Cologne, Berlin, and Munich to protest Chancellor Friedrich Merz proposed conscription law. Demonstrators carried banners rejecting mandatory service, accused the government of warmongering, and criticized the plan to expand the Bundeswehr to 460,000 personnel to meet NATO targets. The proposed law would require all 18-year-old men to register for potential service. The protests were backed by political figures like Amira Mohamed Ali, co-leader of the BSW party, who slammed the defense budget increase and mandatory registration as absolute madness. Chancellor Merz faced this domestic unrest while engaged in foreign diplomacy, flying to Israel for a diplomatic reset. Meanwhile, the debate over Europe's strategic directions continues to be shaped by leaders like Hungary's Viktor Orban. In detailed speeches, Orban has explained his veto of EU sanctions on Russia, framing it as a necessary step to protect Hungary's energy needs and economic independence. He warns that a pro-Brussels government could drag Hungary into a broader conflict, positioning his anti-war stance as central to his campaign ahead of the 2026 parliamentary elections. His rhetoric underscores a fundamental divide within the EU on issues of sovereignty, security, and the perceived rush toward a war economy. The convergence of these events, from Caribbean deployment and shifting South American alliance to massive European protests and internal EU discord, paints a picture of a world where traditional alliances are being tested and domestic politics are increasingly shaped by global security anxieties. The protests in Germany reflect a generational and ideological clash over military policies, while the actions of the U.S. in Venezuela and the partnership sought by leaders like Maduro and Orban demonstrate a complex realignment of diplomatic and strategic relationships outside of established Western frameworks. If you haven't made it this far, congratulations. You have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. As U.S. military presence grows in the Caribbean, while Germany faces massive protests against conscription and Hungary positions itself as Europe's anti-war voice, are we witnessing the emergence of new global power blocks that reject American-led security frameworks? These developments suggest a multipolar world where regional powers forge independent alliances and populations resist militarization despite elite consensus. And why? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate your support. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Like the video, share this video with friends and family, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.